there's a lot of data now globally on hand hygiene, including from agencies like the World Health Organization and UNICEF. The unclean environments during childbirth actually account for up to 20% of newborn deaths and up to 10% of maternal deaths. So infections that arise because of an unclean environment lead to a significant number of both maternal and child deaths. So this is why hand hygiene is very important. It also has another advantage, and that is it reduces antimicrobial resistance. Because the less infections you have or suspected infections, the less use of antibiotics you need. And therefore, that's really a win-win for the health system. A number of recent studies in India and in other parts of the world have shown that pregnant women are particularly vulnerable to the impacts of heat. And this is because their physiology changes during pregnancy. And if these are pregnant women are those who have to work outside or work in an environment where they're not able to take breaks, or they're not able to really, get away from that hot environment and allow their bodies to cool down, this then results in increasing complications of pregnancy like gestational diabetes and like high blood pressure, but also results in things like premature deliveries, small for date babies, low birth weight babies, and even increasing stillbirths. And because of global warming and the fact that more and more pregnant women around the world and in India will be exposed to high heat days, it's going to be very important for our healthcare providers, particularly our ASHAs, ANMs, nurses and doctors in primary healthcare settings and healthcare facilities across the country, to be aware of this, to counsel pregnant women appropriately, to inform them about what the signs and symptoms are of heat exhaustion, heat stroke, and not wait for things to become very extreme, to really give them information about what they should do to protect themselves from heat, especially during those peak summer days. Now, when we talk about environmental risks, it's also important to think about all the bacteria that are out there in the environment. And as you know, we have an increasing number of resistant bacteria and fungi and other pathogens, what we call antimicrobial resistance or antibiotic resistant bacteria. Now, if you get an infection with one of those, then it's very, very difficult to treat and cure, and an increasing number of deaths in hospitals every year are due to such infections. So this is where, again, hand hygiene and practicing hygiene in general becomes very important, because not only does it control the spread of infection from one person to another, it reduces preventable infections and therefore the risk of antimicrobial resistant infections. It also reduces the use of antibiotics, which is one of the key strategies for reducing antimicrobial resistance. It has multiple benefits, and it all starts with such a simple thing, which is hand hygiene, infection prevention and control, and attention to water and sanitation, especially in healthcare facilities. I think we all remember during COVID in the early days how there was a lot of focus on hand hygiene and hand washing, and that was because in the beginning we thought it was spread by droplet infections, just like influenza and other respiratory infections, where hand hygiene is extremely important, because in the case of droplet infections, it is your hand and any fomite, anything that your hand touches where the virus is able to survive, and then somebody else comes along and touches the same surface. It could be a table, it could be a doorknob, it could be a lift, so those are the ways in which the respiratory infections spread one to the other. Of course, there's another way of spread, and that is airborne infection, where hand hygiene alone is not enough. You will also have to take precautions like masking, physical distancing, and so on. But again, washing your hands well, particularly in a healthcare facility, if you're a healthcare worker, It's not enough to just do it for half a second. You need to really spend a few minutes taking the soap, rubbing your hands well, washing it. Also very important for children in schools, in nursery schools and Anganwadis to get that habit of washing your hands every time you go to the bathroom with soap and water, and washing your hands before you have a meal. And if there's a child who's got a respiratory infection, then even more that the others as well as that child should wash their hands. This can really reduce the spread of infections from person to person, particularly in crowded places, in classrooms and buses and so on. I think this whole habit of hand hygiene as well as respiratory precautions, we're again seeing a spike of respiratory infections that includes COVID now that's spreading. We need to go back to those simple precautions that we were all very familiar with during the time of COVID.